Hi, I'm Beverly Van Sanford, and I currently work for Kitsap Support, Advocacy, and Counseling Services out of Port Orchard, Washington. I am the supervisor for the advocacy program, and in that we also offer legal advocacy, medical advocacy, and also crime victims advocacy, sexual assault advocacy. And all of our services are free to our community. We are a nonprofit, grant-based organization, and so we are here to help the community when they have either been sexually assaulted or have been a victim of a crime. So you've been sexually assaulted, or someone close to you has been sexually assaulted. What do you do now? How do you help them the most? With Kitsap Support, Advocacy, and Counseling Services, we are here to walk beside you and be a voice for you and help guide you through the system. Now, that system can look very different for each victim. Of course, if you're under 18, we're mandated reporters, but if you're an adult or anybody like that or just needing information, we can advise you on what it would look like to go to law enforcement, what it would look like when you go and have your exam done, your medical exam done, or a SANE exam done. We can help you with getting protection orders, a SAPO, a sexual assault protection order, or a DVPO, a domestic violence protection order, to help you through that. We're there to go through the court system with you. We work with the prosecutor's office, we work with law enforcement, however, we are not employed by them. Everything you tell us is confidential. We only talk about it to other people if you're with your permission. We're here to be your person, to help guide you, to help get you into services, and to help you feel safe and protected. The main thing is know that we believe you and we're here to help in your healing journey. So you may be asking yourself how you can help somebody who's been sexually assaulted. Some of the major things that you want to remember is you want to believe them, you want them to be safe, and you want to empower them. Don't come in and try to start making all the decisions for them. You want to be able to let them grieve in their own time and start healing in their trauma process. Here at KSAC, we very much believe in helping our victims become survivors as they grow through this process, and therefore being able to move on and live productive lives.
My name is Stephen Dearborn, and we are currently at Kitsap Support, Advocacy, and Counseling. We are located in Port Orchard, Washington. I am a marriage family therapist here, and I am also the program supervisor. So in the event that you suspect that someone has been sexually assaulted, first and foremost, you want to ensure that that person is safe and that they are believed. All too often, victims are not believed after the aftermath of a sexual assault, which can invalidate their experience and make the healing process even more difficult. Secondly, you will want to put them in touch with Kitsap Support, Advocacy, and Counseling. There they will be working with advocates who can help them along with the next steps of the process. Now, if this person is a child, which is someone under the age of 18, we here at KSAC are mandated reporters, which means that we would have to report that to law enforcement. Also, if the person is a vulnerable adult, which is somebody over the age of 60 who has some sort of physical incapacitations or anything to that effect, that would also be a reportable area. One thing that you can do for that victim is if it's an emergency situation, you'll want to be sure to call 911. And that victim may also need access to SANE services, which is sexual assault nurse examination. And those services are free through the state. So a victim who does not fall into the category of child or vulnerable adult, they really need to be able to report on their own terms. And while it may seem like you're doing the right thing by reporting the sexual assault of an adult friend or family member, this truly can be very detrimental to their healing process. I think instead you need to choose to empower them, encourage them to report and be that ongoing support in their life. And for additional information on that and on mandated reporting or how to report, you can always visit the Washington State Department of Social and Health Services website, or reports can be made via the crisis line at 360-337-9000. 9773. So therapy at KSAC, right? It's the opportunity for victims of sexual assault to begin processing the trauma that has occurred in their life. Our licensed therapists are especially trained in working with people who've experienced a sexual assault, and they provide a safe space for individuals to share their story and heal. As you may or may not know, there is a lot of stigma surrounding therapy services. Many people, I think, they think of therapy as a sign of weakness or it means that they're crazy, when in fact it's just the opposite. Attending a therapy it's a sign of strength, and it showcases, your ability to take agency over your life and generate positive change. So it doesn't imply that you're crazy. It doesn't imply that there's anything wrong with you. It's just more of an opportunity for you to go in and have an honest conversation with someone about what has occurred with you in your life. So when attending therapy with KSAC, clients will either meet in person or through telehealth. Telehealth really provides that opportunity to attend sessions from the comfort of your own home. And what will happen first is a therapist will conduct an intake with you and spend some time really getting to know you, while at the same time providing you time to ask questions about therapy and your therapist. It's important to know that clients will never be forced to talk about anything that they don't wish to speak about, nor should you ever feel like you have to discuss trauma on a specific timeline. Therapy should be considered really a safe space. I mean, that is the biggest part of it, is it's a safe space where you can process what has happened when you're ready to do it. You and your therapist will come up with a treatment plan together, and the services you will receive, they'll be based upon your individual needs. Clients will always be treated with dignity, respect, and compassion through their time in therapy. And our goal is to meet you wherever you are at in your healing process. So when you think of the word predator, you really have to think about what does that mean to you, right? And I think for a lot of people, it's that scary figure who's ready to pounce on you when you walk by that dark alley. Or, maybe a well-known serial killer such as Ted Bundy who preyed upon his victims. That being said, I think predators really are those people that are among us, right? Those people that are among us in our community. It could be someone living in your neighborhood. It could be the coach on your child's sports team, or even the leader in your religious institution. The predators who are among those that we trust most in the community. And although predatory behaviors, they're not common in the majority of the population, those with those behaviors blend in very well. And with the average citizen, and they're not easily identified by the types of creepy behaviors we would expect. I think many question if a sexual assault could have been prevented, right? If they knew who the predator was, or if they knew how to identify that. But like I said, we oftentimes don't know how to identify that. Or they may be trying to figure out who's to blame for the sexual assault. I think it is key, and this is really key to remember, that the blame only lies with the perpetrator. When we focus too much on how we could prevent it, or who's to blame, or who's at fault, we run into a lot of issues of victim blaming, victim shaming, and the true thing is it's never the victim's fault. So I think questioning things such as what were they wearing, were they alone, regardless of why you're asking, it's placing responsibility on the victim, and this is ultimately harmful to the victim. Statements such as, did you have something to drink? It's sending the message that the victim's behavior is a choice that led to the assault, when really and truly blame only lies with the perpetrator. Never blame the victim. There are things we can do, of course, to help prevent, future sexual assault, but these things don't guarantee protection from assault. We can empower our youth and community members with education, model healthy boundaries, raise awareness, and by teaching these healthy relationship boundaries, youth and community members can minimize the risk to themselves and those around them. Again, this doesn't prevent the perpetrator from finding more vulnerable victims. So what we really need to do is be able to educate our family, educate our friends, talk about healthy boundaries, healthy relationships, what is consent. And I think as we start to learn these things, we're going to start to see a positive change in the community.